He's speaking from the Humorously Speaking project manual, project number 3. Make them laugh. The objectives are prepare a speech that opens and closes with humorous stories. Include jokes in the speech body to illustrate points or maintain audience interest. And deliver the jokes and stories smoothly and effectively. His time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Josh has been working on the web for about 12 years now. Today he's going to tell us how he first got into computers and programming. Josh Burns, how it all started. Josh Burns.
How many people here remember being in school and having to do like an essay or a report or something? And when I was going through school, I can remember, all right, it's report time. Go down to the library, find the book you gotta look for, get the information, you put 10 cents in the copy machine to get the copier working, take the paper home, you get your pencil, you write out your various drafts in pencil so you can erase, then you switch to either blue or black ink, because that's what the teacher required, and then you write out your final draft in ink. Well, when I got to the 10th grade in high school, my English teacher was giving us our requirements for our first essay. She said it has to have 1-inch margins, be double-spaced, and 12-point font. And I thought, what is this new devilry she speaks on? What's a font? I didn't know any of this. So I talked to her, she's like, well, on your computer. I don't have a computer. Oh, well, you can use your typewriter. I don't have a typewriter either. Can I write it out? No, you'll have to use a school computer or go to the library. So I go home and I tell my parents, oh, I gotta type this thing up. So they decide, well, we're gonna go down and buy an electric typewriter. That'll take care of the problem. My parents go out and they come back, and apparently while they were out, they decided to buy a computer. They decided it was time. And they bought a nice one, $3,000, compact. This thing was just blazing fast, Pentium 2, 300 megahertz processor, 32 megabytes of RAM, and a 7.4 gig hard drive. Now at the time, all I knew was that was like 7,000 floppies, apparently. Which sounded great to me. I didn't even know what a floppy disk was. So we get this computer, and I start typing up my essays, reports, and going through all my class requirements. And then, as I'm working on this computer, we have this thing on here called CompuServe. What is CompuServe? And I open it up, and it has a free trial. So I click it, and nothing's happening. I talk to my dad, and he says, oh, you have to plug the phone line in. So I plug the phone line in, and I click it again, and suddenly I hear the most god-awful noise you could ever imagine. Bing! Like, it binged. Something must have happened. But then I discovered that there was this magical place. It was full of mystery and wonder, and it was called the internet. And I was just amazed that you could go there and you could type in a word on CompuServe search or Yahoo, and you could get information about it. You didn't have to walk to the library anymore. This is amazing. This is, how did I not know about this? I'm a lazy individual. I should have been on top of this. So I start messing around with the internet, and not a whole lot, because my parents, like most people in the mid-90s with the internet, thought that as soon as you logged on, instantly your social security numbers, your credit card information, your address, your parents' maiden name, all goes right out into the web, and everybody steals your identity, and suddenly you've got a house that doesn't belong to you under your name in Bermuda somewhere. So my access to the internet was limited, but then as I got older, I started using it more and more, and one of my teachers had a website. And we could go and get our assignments and our syllabus and all this stuff at the website, and I thought, I want a website. I could do this. It looks pretty basic, so I signed up for a service called GeoCities. Anybody here remember GeoCities?
Yeah.
You people? All right. Now, GeoCities was great. You go in, you get your own web page, and it's something like geocities.com/187964321/ some long old thing. And you expect everybody else is going to remember that just off the top of their head. You go in, and it's got its editor, and you just say, I want to put a picture here, and it puts it there. You want to type this text here, and it's going to be this color. And you click save, and bam, you've got a web page. Yes! I created my first web page on the Mega Man video game. So psyched. And then I realized that I had the Mega Man picture was over here on the left-hand side. And I was like, well, I want him to be on the right-hand side because I'm different. I'm different from everybody else. So I go up there, and I'm in their little GeoCities editor, and it won't let me do it. So I'm like, okay, well, this must be an advanced technique. So I'll go to the advanced editor. It was all this gobbledygook that they were calling HTML. I'm like, all right, well, let me start looking at this. And as I was scrolling through it, I saw the file name of the picture that I had uploaded to it. And I was like, oh, and it had in there, align equals left. I was like, oh, what happens if I do align equals right? So I saved it and popped over to the right side of the page. I was amazed at my technical prowess. How smart I was. So I started messing with a few other things, and naturally I broke everything. Nothing worked. Everything was all over the place. But I kept messing with it. For years, I kept messing with it. This is how I learned how to do web programming, how to have HTML markup. Now it's XHTML is what I'm using. It was literally just trial and error. I went in there, something wasn't working the way I wanted to, so I changed it until it did what I wanted to do and started figuring things out, learning it, until I became good enough to not really have to try things out anymore. You just kind of know it. And I kind of progressed from that and got into server-side scripting and programming. And so now it's been 12 years. I did that calculation when I was sitting over there, that I've been doing this, and it's depressing, 12 years. But since most of you here aren't web programmers, I'm going to give you a little window into what that's like. I'm going to give you an illustration. And the best illustration I can think of was back when I was a kid, my grandmother gave my brother a Christmas present. And this Christmas present really illustrates what I have to deal with every day. This Christmas present, my brother comes out Christmas morning, and it's there, and it's this box. It's about 3 feet long, about a foot wide, about a foot high, and it's heavy, barely lifted. So Christmas morning, he unwraps it, tears all the paper off, rips the box open, and it's a bunch of paper. And he's looking in, he reaches in with excitement, feels down on the bottom, pulls out a brick. Confused, reaches down, and pulls out another brick. And he discovers that it's a box with paper lined with bricks to make it feel heavy. And he looks at my grandmother, and she's like, well, I didn't know what to get you, so I decided to give you $100. So I took and folded up 100 $1 bills in this box, and then spent the last 3 weeks cutting up newspaper to the same size as the $1 bills, and put them all in here, and mixed it all up. So now you get to go in there and find the 100 $1 bills. My brother spent the better part of that day with the rest of the family laughing at him as he was frantically searching for another dollar. But now he gets to laugh at me because I get to spend the better part of my day searching through thousands of lines of code for the semicolon that I missed somewhere in this whole gobbledygook. That is how I got from there to here.
Very good, I like that. Very entertaining. Our next speech will be performed by Eric Jansen, and evaluator.